Essential.
1 month. Meanwhile, a few gold bars may be just what you need if you're planning to send your children to college. College tuition rose an average of about 5% this year, more than twice the rate of inflation. The good news is that the increase was the smallest in 4 years, thanks in part to the booming economy. And developments tonight in what could be one of the largest cases of money laundering in the U.S., the first indictments of the federal investigation into Russian money laundering through the Bank of New York. 3 individuals and 3 companies were charged with crimes arising from the transfer of about $7 billion through accounts at the bank. Investigators have not accused the bank of any wrongdoing. Keeping you ahead of the curve, corporate profits are the major highlight in tomorrow's trading. Look for earnings reports from Alcoa, Yahoo, PepsiCo, and Advanced Micro Devices. On the economic front, investors will get the latest read on the manufacturing sector and watch the stock price of Ford. After the bell, the United Auto Workers Union set a strike deadline for 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time Friday. Ford said it remains optimistic it will reach a new contract with the UAW. Now, for the first look at the morning's business news and a preview of the markets, tune to Ahead of the Curve every morning at 5 a.m. Eastern. Join John Defterios and Deborah Marchini right here on CNN. And, of course, you can always click onto our website at cnnfn.com. Use it to get stock quotes and advice on personal finance. That's it for the Moneyline Update. Now back to Joey Chen in Atlanta.
Stuart, thanks. Next here on The World Today, an update on the search for a 3-year-old boy missing in Colorado. What secret Oval Office tapes say about the Nixon White House? And later here, Jeannie Mose on what it takes to see for those who can't.
Tonight, on the Emmy Award-winning Larry King Live, join ABC News' Sam Donaldson. He'll be the guest for the hour. Tonight, 9 Eastern on CNN.
The best in high-quality mysteries and the best in original productions from the most original group of sleuths you'll ever meet. The A&E Mystery Movie, only on A&E.
A&E's Mystery Movie is brought to you by Citibank. Cards built around you.
Okay, we know there are enough calling plans on this planet.
Yeah, it's way too complicated. Make it simple.
I will. You see, with new AT&T One Rate 7-cent plan, it's nothing but simple. It's 7 cents a minute all day, every day, whenever you call. There are no 10 numbers to dial.
Or those nickel rates that are sometimes a quarter.
No, that was not me. With AT&T One Rate, it's simple, period. So what was confusing is now not.
I like simple.
Simple is good.
And tomatoes.
Even better.
All day, every day. Call 1-800-41-RATE to enroll.
Early Edition with Carol Lynn and Leon Harris. Weekdays on CNN.
We interrupt this program for an important news brief. MCI Now offers 5 cents a minute every day, so you can call every evening and all weekend long. Bugs?
This is big news.
Right, Bugs. Just 5 cents. Mere change.
Change is good.
To sign up, just punch in 1-800 every day.
If I punch. Ow. Man, what a ham.
Call 1-800 every day to join.
Introducing a space-efficient, remarkably upgradable computer from NEC. The evolution of the computer ends with Z. The new Z1 from NEC. With an Intel Pentium 3 processor.
There's still no sign of a 3-year-old boy missing in the Colorado wilderness. He disappeared Saturday while hiking with a church group, and police say they have not found any promising leads. CNN's Rusty Dornan is covering the search.
They brought in more search dogs, including a bloodhound. They splashed through rivers looking under every rock, and still on the 4th day, search and rescue teams found little sign of 3-year-old Jared Atadero. The search will continue Wednesday.
We'll certainly finish the waterways tomorrow, but we should have between 50 and 60 people on foot in the field.
As Jared's father, Alan, waits for news, teams here lend words of encouragement.
I thought I was the only frustrated with it. Oh, when I said you got 1,000 people here with you right now.
And every one of us that's in the parking lot
feels like
right
I here
too.
Alan Adadero has not lost hope.
He's probably saying, "Okay, Dad, the fun's over. Come get me now."
Deputies here have all but ruled out foul play and say they haven't given up the possibility that the little boy is alive.
Chances are diminishing every day. There's less optimism every day, but we still have hope. We still have hope.
Always, there are dangers here posed by mountain lions and bears and the weather. During the day, the temperatures are in the 70s, but when the sun goes down, the mercury plummets. Even dressed warmly, the boy faces sub-freezing temperatures, making hypothermia a nightly danger. Wednesday's search efforts will be reassessed, but so far there are no plans yet to give up the search. Rusty Dornan, CNN, Larimer County, Colorado.
In the world, there was another nuclear accident today. This time it was in South Korea. At least 22 people were exposed to low doses of radiation inside a nuclear plant some 190 miles southeast of Seoul. Two workers were checking pipes when 12 gallons of radioactive water leaked. 20 other employees were exposed after they were sent to clean up the contaminated area. The accident follows Japan's worst nuclear accident, which happened just last week.
An update to a story we told you last night. In Jerusalem today, Israelis and Palestinians signed an agreement for a safe passage route across Israel. The accord will allow Palestinians to travel along a 27-mile corridor that stretches from Gaza to the West Bank. The agreement reconciles years of complaints that Israel prevented Palestinians from visiting friends and family in separate self-rule areas.
In medical news, doctors may have to rethink the way they fight prostate cancer. A new study says a protein doctors look for as an indicator of prostate cancer may actually be fighting the disease. Millions of men are tested each year for prostate-specific antigen. At elevated levels, its presence could indicate cancer. Now, medical researchers in Maryland say they found evidence it inhibits the cancer's growth. There's now another reason to eat your fruits and vegetables. A study in today's Journal of the American Medical Association says they can cut the risk of stroke by nearly a third. Researchers say it takes about 5 or 6 servings a day. Green leafy vegetables and citrus fruits and juices appear to have the greatest benefit. Let's check in with Karen McGinnis in the CNN Weather Center for a check of your weather. Karen.
Jim, we've had a very quiet October day, and in fact, it has been very fallish across a good portion of the lower 48 states. So we take you down in the Gulf of Mexico, yes, after Floyd. We don't want to hear anything about activity as far as the tropics are concerned, but we do have tropical depression number 11. It does not look impressive on satellite imagery. As a matter of fact, most of the convection is bumping into these eastern coastal regions of Mexico. But we plugged into our computer the coordinates that the National Hurricane Center has given us, and it looks like the track it's going to take will drift less towards the northwest and more towards the north. So maybe into southern sections of Texas, we might begin to pick up some rainfall that could be heavy at times. Now, for the west coast tonight, it looks like in Trinity County, a little bit of snowfall, not a lot, but snow levels down to around 6,000 feet. This will be the first that you've seen of the season. In Florida, temperatures were quite suppressed today in places like in Tampa, also in Melbourne. They're about 10 degrees below normal, what we would expect. Tampa, for instance, 76 for a high. Normally this time of year it should be about 87. Temperatures the coldest in the eastern provinces of Canada, the warmest to the south. That's your weather picture. Now back to Wolf.
Thanks, Karen. The National Archives releases new tapes from the Nixon White House. Up next, private White House discussions heard for the first time. And later, Jeff Greenfield on public addresses from the Oval Office, the growth of technology and the power of a president's character.
Guys are not quiet about sports. But when it comes to prostate health, here are the facts. If you're over 40, testosterone levels can start to drop, and that impacts urinary and prostate health. Prostatonin is a new natural supplement proven to safely help maintain prostate health to avoid too many trips to the men's room. Now that's worth making some noise about. Take prostatonin. It's a guy thing.
flexible metal frame. Flex-On by Marchon.
The National Archives today released the first in a series of Oval Office tape recordings made by former President Richard Nixon. The 445 hours of secret tapes cover a 7-month period in 1971 and include discussions on everything from Vietnam to unemployment. CNN's Bruce Morton got an early look at the new release.
The tapes show that Richard Nixon, like Lyndon Johnson before him, worried about Vietnam. Nixon, March 5th, 1971, to Henry Kissinger. They, the North Vietnamese, said, "Will you agree to get out of South Vietnam if they agree to get out of South Vietnam?" I would not agree to that. Kissinger, we couldn't, because they would let us out and come back in, which, of course, is what happened in 1975 after Nixon had left office. Kissinger in April, after a Nixon speech announcing a U.S. troop withdrawal. The American people want to win this war. It drives them crazy to be in a war they can't win. Nixon, we aren't going to win it. If the communists don't win it, we win it. We can't say it, not now, or the expletive doves would go off the wall. Kissinger in May on drug use among U.S. troops in Vietnam. I suppose with so many of the lower-level people there and many Negroes, I'd be interested to see a breakdown of the statistics of how many of those percent take heroin, how many percent of those are Negroes. I'll bet it would show an enormously large number. Nixon's answer is unintelligible. Kissinger about the Vietnamese on the same day. If they're going to collapse, it would really be better if it happened early in your next term. April 1971, Kissinger. I don't know if you've noticed, incidentally, the Chinese have invited an American ping pong team to visit China. By itself, it doesn't mean a damn thing. Nixon, a lot. Kissinger, exactly. And of course, that led to the opening with China. The Pentagon Papers, a huge study of U.S. involvement in Vietnam, were leaked to the newspapers that summer. Aide H.R. Haldeman. Why the hell do we classify anything if a newspaper feels no compunction about printing it? Nixon, they play the game that way, Bob. They're a bunch of bastards. They'll lie, cheat, anything. The intellectuals, basically, they have no morals. The Nixon administration went to court to try to block publication. The Supreme Court ruled that the New York Times could publish by a vote of 6-3. Bruce Warren, CNN, Washington.
Far removed from the conversations recorded in secret, some of the most memorable speeches this half-century have originated in the Oval Office. But not every president has been able to make the historic setting fit his objectives. Some thoughts from CNN senior analyst Jeff Greenfield.
My fellow Americans, I come before you tonight to speak of a powerful office, the presidency, a powerful medium, television, and how the men in that office have used this medium. Come, let us journey together through the looking glass.
The situation in Europe is grim and foreboding as winter approaches.
52 years ago tonight, President Harry Truman became the first president to speak to the nation from the White House using not just radio, but television. There was no teleprompter, and he used a rostrum as though he were speaking to a huge hall. Later presidents would learn to use TV the way Franklin Roosevelt used radio, as an intimate, one-on-one medium.
The purpose of these bases can be none other than to provide a nuclear strike capability against the Western Hemisphere.
Over the years, presidents have used the imposing Oval Office background to convey some pretty grim news. 37 years ago, it was the Cuban Missile Crisis and the prospect of nuclear war.
It shall be the policy of this nation to regard any nuclear missile launched from Cuba against any nation in the Western Hemisphere as an attack by the Soviet Union on the United States, requiring a full retaliatory response.
They've used the setting to rally support. Nixon in 1969, urging Americans to reject the anti-war protesters.
And so tonight, to you, the great silent majority.
5 years later, facing almost certain impeachment and removal, President Nixon sat in the same office to announce that the Watergate controversy had claimed its ultimate victim.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
Nixon's successors found it hard to reclaim the magic of the White House TV speech. President Ford urged Americans to whip inflation now by wearing win buttons. It didn't work.
I know that we can meet this energy challenge.
Neither did President Carter's attempt to strike a non-imperial image with a cardigan sweater and a fireplace.
Great progress.
For President Reagan, the White House was the best set imaginable, especially on occasions when he had to console the nation, shocked by the Challenger shuttle explosion in 1986.
We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them, this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye, and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.
Good evening.
One of the most memorable and least successful of all presidential speeches from the White House was the attempt by President Clinton a year ago to talk about what had happened with a White House intern. He didn't give that speech in the Oval Office, since that was where the trouble had begun.
It's nobody's business but ours. Even presidents have private lives.
When presidents first began to use television, the fear was that they would become too powerful. They'd be able to overwhelm Congress and the press by going over their heads, speaking directly to the American people. By the 1970s, the fear was our presidents had become too weak, reduced by TV to little more than a talking head. The reality seems to be that it's the presidents themselves, their character, their records, that matter a whole lot more than how well or badly they're able to perform on television. And a good thing, too. I'm Jeff Greenfield.
When we return here, back on the line, another look at tonight's top story, the big telecom deal, how we've already hooked up to the future, and how the economy and our daily lives will never be quite the same.
Good morning, it's 6 a.m. Come on, your meeting's in 2 hours.
Comfort Inn knows the business traveler.
I've been thinking. Kill the slides. Just talk to him.
Just remember, enunciate. Take deep breaths. Our complimentary breakfast saves you time and money.
You the man.
Our guest privileges frequency program earns you free nights fast. And we serve business travelers in over 1,500 locations worldwide. You did it again.
I love my job.
It's more than a room. It's comfort.
Hi, I'm Doug Flutie, pro football player and father of an autistic child. I started the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation to help less fortunate families of autistic children get the support they need. Here's a way you can help. Just dial 1010-220. All calls up to 20 minutes are only 99 cents, and 1010-220 will make a donation to the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation every time you use it. So dial 1010-220, get up to 20 minutes for only 99 cents, and help some great kids at the same time. It's a win-win situation. I wish football was this easy.
If you expect your people to start thinking out of the box, they need to stop working in one. Hayworth, furniture for what's next.
Today's mega deal between MCI, WorldCom, and Sprint is the latest in the trend toward bigger companies and faster technologies. But is bigger and faster always better? In tonight's Focus Report, CNN's Brooks Jackson looks at where we're headed in business, in the way we communicate, and in the way we live.
It's all moving so fast. The MCI-Sprint merger, big as it is only a ripple on the tidal wave of change sweeping over the way Americans and the world communicate, buy, and sell.
In this whole internet economy, if we call it that, things have to happen faster. So they're on the path to mergers and acquisitions. And in the big picture of things, the MCI, WorldCom, and Sprint merger is just a blip.
Here's a peek at where telecommunications is heading. Part computer, part digital telephone. Send email from the palm of your hand. A $500 gadget in the stores now. And you don't need to go to a bank to do banking. You can do it online right now from home. Pay bills, transfer money, apply for loans.
But over time, more and more people will be paying bills online and getting bill presentment online. We think that's going to be one of the core applications of the future. We're clearly moving to a more connected society. People are going to be connected all the time, and the kind of things they do in the offline world, they will start wanting to do in the online world because they can do them more conveniently.
Telecom companies are rewiring the country. They call it broadband, the fat pipe. An estimated $15 billion being invested in fiber optic cable, switching gear, software this year.
By the year 2001, approximately $35 billion will be invested. So they're going after 1 billion users, representing billions of dollars worth of e-commerce.
Email, e-banking, e-business. What railroads were to the 19th century, what jet planes, radio, and television were to the 20th. Ultra-fast movement of stupendous amounts of information will be to the 21st. That's the idea that's driving huge companies to rewire the planet.
Already it's changed the way stocks are bought and sold. Much cheaper, faster, also more dangerous for the inexperienced. You can buy books, buy music, buy computers or antiques, soon buy almost anything online. Some predict $1 trillion a year within the next 5 to 10 years.
The amount of commerce is going to increase 20-fold. And it's all about commerce. It's all about making money. And in order to have the Internet 2.0 happen and all this commerce to be transacted, we have to have that infrastructure. We have to have all of the people connected at very high speeds so that information is instantaneous and transactions are instantaneous.
Everything's converging. Get faxes and email through your pager. Browse the web through a smart digital telephone. Get movies, sports, and the Internet through a satellite dish the size of a pizza.
So all of these networks that exist around the world will, in fact, become, over time, one network, so that you've got one Internet address, one telephone number for a device, be it the phone at home, be it a cellular device that you're carrying around with you, be it a digital assistant in your hand. And none of those devices will care what network it's on because it'll be a seamless single network.
Some worry about privacy. Stores can track what you buy in a central brain. That makes it easier for them to stock the goods you want, but information can be misused.
Or what if reality falls short? What if the promised benefits don't materialize? What if consumers don't want to be connected instantly to everybody, all the time, everywhere? Maybe we should worry more about that.
Brooks Jackson, CNN, Washington.
For an idea of what's driving just one segment of the telecom business, consider this. The number of cell phone subscribers worldwide currently stands at about 300 million. But in just a few years, that number is expected to reach 1 billion. Jim.
Still ahead on The World Today, CNN's Jeannie Most takes a look at a group of graduating students who will be sharing their vision with others.
Lately, we at Lockheed Martin have been lucky enough to work on some very exciting projects. Like the most advanced automated fingerprint identification system in the world. Oh, and let's not forget the missions to Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn.
Chuck, it's Rennie. I'm stuck. Call me back.
Rennie, we're doing shadow puppets. Call me.
Chuck! Rennie. Call me back.
You just left me a message. I'm not going to touch my phone. Call me.
Tired of phone tag? Nextel's the only national wireless carrier with Direct Connect, a digital two-way radio feature. Nextel, how business gets done.
Now through October 31st, save $100 on our newest phones.
You're looking at someone who just bought a home with no down payment. How? He called Ditech.com and borrowed 125% of the purchase price. With your good credit, you too can finance up to $500,000 with no down payment. Use the extra cash to pay closing costs, pay off bills, or buy new furniture. Buy a home of your own with no down payment. Call Ditech.com at 1-800-71-FIXED for the 125 Dream Loan today.
There's no formula to loving your dog, but there is to feeding him.
Hill's Science Diet. It's what more vets like Dr. Tom Horn feed their own pets. With real meat as the #1 ingredient, Savory Recipes provides the highest quality protein.
Protein is essential to help ensure these guys have a long, healthy life. So nourish your dog's spirit. Let Science Diet nourish the rest.
Superior nutrition for the life of your pet. Science Diet. What vets feed their pets.
Finally tonight, at a recent graduation day, the honorees had every right to act like animals. That's because they are. Nearly a dozen guide dogs faced their final test before going home with their new owners. CNN's Jeannie Most has more on this Dog Day afternoon.
Instead of a cap and gown, these grads wear a harness and leash.
Today is the first big step into the big city.
They tackled everything from the subway to a turnstile to an escalator. 11 graduates faced all the temptations the Big Apple has to offer.
Leave it.
While most visitors depend on guide books, these visitors depend on guide dogs.
Hop up.
Hop up.
Hop up.
Hop up, the all-purpose command loosely translated as pay attention, and for the most part, they did.
Super. Wonderful. Great.
After 4 months of training at a school called Guiding Eyes for the Blind, the dogs were joined by their masters-to-be for several weeks of training together. Culminating in this trip to New York, each dog-student pair was accompanied by an instructor.
That's just nice and easy. Perfect. Oh, ouch. Almost perfect.
Despite a few bumps, it doesn't take 20/20 vision to see the big picture, to see how Indigo the lab
Good girl.
made Karen Gibbs wait till it was sure the truck wasn't turning. Have you ever stood at a corner eyeing a person with a guide dog, wondering...
How does your dog know when the light changes?
Well, actually, the dog doesn't.
Josh, forward. Straight.
It's the person who tells the dog when to go when the person hears the parallel traffic moving.
Eva, forward.
The owner's biggest pet peeve is people petting the guide dog, too distracting. But an even greater distraction is that dogs aren't blind to each other.
You might want to pick up your leash. Nope. Stop your harness.
The only real mishap occurred when this little number caused a guide dog to lunge. No harm done. Students learn little tricks like how to position the dog on the bus so as not to get stepped on.
You want to make sure the tail is tucked in.
In Grand Central, it was the sighted instructor who got confused.
Right. Right. Left. Left. Wait.
Now go straight ahead.
We did this already. What'd you do, get lost?
At one point, it was a case of the blind meeting the blind. Those who used to tap their way around say a dog is 100% better. Besides, a canine can do what no cane can. Ginny Moe, CNN, New York.
Before we go, a reminder, journalist Sam Donaldson is the guest on Larry King Live minutes from now at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Joey?
And stay with CNN 1 hour from now, an exclusive interview inside the ring and one-on-one with the champ's challenger, Muhammad Ali's daughter, and why she's headed for the fight of her life. That's on CNN Newsstand at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Wolf?
And tomorrow on The World Today, an assessment of NATO's war by committee in Kosovo. CNN's Christiana Amanpour reviews the outcome of the air war in the Balkans with those who devised the strategy. Tomorrow on The World Today. And for all of us here at CNN, good night.
Tonight, an exclusive interview with Ali's daughter as she makes her professional boxing debut. CNN Newsstand, tonight, 10 Eastern on CNN.
What's a Freeman Wellwood? A different kind of discount broker. No churn and burn. Or costly roundabout answers. You get free information and great rates by phone, the internet, or at a local office from a real live broker. So, what's a Freeman Wellwood? A whole new spin on discount brokers.
In downtown Portland, at 2nd and Alder.
Imagine living life on a grander scale. Imagine tasting water when it's brand new, or being one with nature without going it alone. Introducing Ford Excursion. Discover the ultimate in capability. From Ford Outfitters, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
I opened my eyes to the facts, and now I have the power. How am I fighting breast cancer? I will get yearly mammograms when I'm over 40. I do get regular checkups with a doctor because I'm over 20, and I'm doing breast self-exams every month. I know my body. I know my breasts. Get the facts, seize the power. It's time to open your eyes. I'm joining Lifetime in the fight against breast cancer.
Sponsored by Legacy Women's Services.
A&E's Biography. Step out of your life and into someone else's. 6 nights a week, they're the people you thought you knew. Biography, 8 Eastern, 9 Pacific, only on A&E.
Brought to you
you locally by Copper Mountain Trust. For corporate retirement plan sponsors and individuals with complex financial needs, look to the Northwest's largest independent trust company, Copper Mountain Trust, relentlessly building wealth.